What's the story on Montero Luna?
That call we got from Wagner Farm turned out to be a little more interesting than I was expecting. Some men were trying to run the Wagners off the land. They tried to buy it first, but when that didn't work, they turned to threats. We confronted them, and unfortunately, it came to violence. None of them survived.
You helped someone in need and came back alive. That's a job well done. I agree. Until we see the whole picture, we won't know if Miss Wagner is truly safe. What did you make of these men who were trying to take the farm? You enjoy the violent stuff, huh? If you have to shoot someone, make sure it's for the right reason. If they open fire on you first, then you're within your rights. But outside of that, violence of any kind should be avoided.
Sometimes people gotta die. But it's no good if you develop a taste for it.
Now, did you find anything that might give us a lead on why these men wanted the farm? Hope Tech ships ain't exactly cheap. That thief could probably tell us a lot about these men you ran into.
There's something else. They were dressed in Freestar militia uniforms. The unit badge was yellow on black with the number 1. They also said something about being forgotten. They seemed bitter about it. Resentful. Didn't you fight in the Colony War, Marshal? Any of that sound familiar?
The 1st Cavalry. I was in that unit for a while. But it was disbanded decades ago. After the Battle of Nera. What was left of it, anyway. The war between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective? Worst conflict the settled systems has ever seen. Each side unleashed terrible weapons on the other. And countless people died. The armistice was signed 20 years ago. But a lot of folks still bear their scars. I suppose it ain't impossible, but it's real damn unlikely. The unit was pretty much wiped out, and the few that survived ended up in prison after a court-martial for disobeying orders. I don't recall how long the sentence was. The 1st Cavalry lost almost all their mechs and soldiers in a big push to take a United Colonies base. They were just about there when a ceasefire order came down. Both sides had just lost too much by then. It was a bloodbath. The commanding officer of the 1st disobeyed the order. He didn't want the lives of his soldiers to be sacrificed. For nothing. They court-martialed him, and the rest of the surviving officers, and locked them all up. Hell, it's our only lead. The Hope Tech factory is in Hope Town on Polvo. Nia Kalu's our ranger stationed out there. She can introduce you to Ron Hope, the president of Hope Tech. He might be able to help you find the thief. Just make sure you stay on his good side. He's on the Council of Governors, and they're the ones we answer to. The ruling body that oversees the Freestar Collective and the Rangers. The council members are the political and corporate elite of the Freestar Collective, so we have to tread lightly when we're dealing with them. Good. The last thing I need is the council breathing down my neck. This is your assignment now, Deputy. Work with the other Rangers. Find out what you can about those men on Montero Luna. Meantime, I'll look into a possible connection with the 1st Cavalry. Good hunting.
Nicely done.
think one man made all of this. Nothing was here until we're on Hope.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Freestart Ranger Nia Kalu. If anyone is hearing this, system's failing. Need help! I repeat, need help!
Board is clear. We're docked.
Oh, it's you. Please tell me you're here to help. Not to try and steal my ship. You need my help. I'd laugh if it didn't hurt so much. I was tracking a crew of outlaws that's been preying on merchant ships. Bastards got the drop on me. I ran them off, but they got a few good hits in. As you can see, I ain't in much shape to make repairs. No chance. They took as much of a beating as I did, while outnumbering me 3-1, I'd like to point out. Repair my ship? Please. Just patch her up enough to get to Hopetown. The rest can get fixed up there. Thanks. I owe you one.
Rangers always got each other's back. You got time for a quick chat? I'd appreciate it when you're able.
Thanks. That should get me home. You're right. They were pretty beat up, so I don't think they got real far. But if they make it back to their hideout, I might never find them again. We can't let that happen. They look to be heading for Polvo's moon Miatha. Good hunting.
I bet Cora's already finished the pre-flight checklist. That's my girl.
Hey, if you get a moment, you might talk this. It's us among the stars again, Captain.
We got you now.
Goddamn ram throw.
I don't want to hear any complaints. Yes?
Keep an eye on your valuables.
To think one man... I've got some stuff on my mind when you have the time.
You made it. Those outlaws didn't give you too much trouble, I trust? I can walk, talk, and breathe without too much pain. That's good enough for me. I'm sure they didn't want to die any more than you did. It's a pointless and stupid waste of life, but they brought it on themselves. You've got good timing. A courier just came in from Aquila. The Marshal sends his regards along with a briefing on your case. I was surprised as hell to learn about the starship theft. Nobody said a word to me about it. Anyway, Mr. Hope can see us whenever you're ready. If you need to take a little time first, feel free. No, and I can't get answers as to why not. I'm sure Mr. Hope has his reasons. His office is upstairs. He's in a meeting, but it should be wrapping up. Come on.
Trucks in space! Their motto always cracks me up.
He's on the Council of Governors. The Council oversees the Freestar Rangers, so don't rile him up. I've spent a long time trying to build a good relationship with Hope. He comes on a little strong, but there's a lot to admire about the
Be
man.
dust except for the
Everything
factory.
you see around you, he built. Pretty much everyone in this town owes him for their livelihood. Can't begin to imagine the kind of pressure that must put on someone. All I'm saying is, try to show a little respect. All the way up. Is it just me, or does every executive in the settled systems have an office on the top floor? I guess being above everyone makes them feel like they're, well, above everyone.
parts.
Off-worlders.
We could try
Nothing
outsourcing.
good ever comes from
Do a contract with scavengers, maybe, but that's a decision that's got to be made upstairs.
Talk to Elaine about the scavengers. It's not a bad idea, provided we get a good deal. And I don't mean a fair deal. I mean a good deal. Remember, it's not just our bottom line that matters. We're also responsible for the welfare of everyone in the factory. We look out for our people here, Bridget. That's a point of great personal pride.
Excuse me, Mr. Hope?
Well now, the Free Star Rangers. At last! Ah, damn, good to see you. I think we're done here, Bridget.
Yes, sir.
This is the deputy I told you about.
Splendid. Splendid! It's a noble calling, being a Free Star Ranger. We certainly could use more of you. I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better. That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I'm sure I don't need to remind you of my position on the Council of Governors. I'm glad we understand each other.
I'd take Ron Hope over Benjamin Bayou any day of the week. Looks like we got a job to do.
Now, tell me that you've at least got a lead of some kind. Hmm? Now, what happened after the ship was taken doesn't concern me. What does concern me is making sure that this doesn't happen again. Well, I'm not sure I can be much help, but I'll answer whatever questions I can. No, nothing at all. It was just a standard Hope Tech cargo hauler. Not that it didn't have great value, mind you. Hope Tech builds some of the most durable and reliable starships in the settled systems. Now, you can bet my ships last twice as long as anything Stroud Eklund makes. We questioned everyone who was in the building when it happened, and not one person seems to have seen anything at all. Frankly, I think that's both highly unlikely and more than a little suspicious. However, I can't deny there are times when the hangar is empty, so it's not inconceivable the thief could have slipped in unseen. What? Nonsense! We vet our people thoroughly here. Hope Tech holds its employees to the very highest standards. Nevertheless, I suppose I could have Cosette conduct a thorough personnel review. Rest assured, if we turn up any evidence that one of our people was an accomplice, I'll let you know. Because I told them not to. If word got out, it would do irreparable harm to our image. I'm in fierce competition with other starship manufacturers. Any sign of weakness could be fatal. What's more, every starship thief in the settled systems would likely flock to Hopetown and start planning the next heist. Very well. I need you to understand something, Deputy. This town is home to men, women, and children who depend on HopeTech for a living. I provide jobs that put food on their tables and a roof over their heads. It's a responsibility that I take very seriously. If word gets out about the stolen ship, my investors will lose trust, and my workers will pay the price. I can't allow that.
You've got a reputation for looking after your own, Mr. Hope. I'm sure the deputy here will keep that in mind.
Is that so? Well, I'm glad to hear it. I've worked hard to make sure that everyone here is well cared for. I'm glad we understand one another.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
your ear
Mr.
when you got a
Hope.
moment.
There's been a development.
Not now, Cosette. I'm in the middle of something.
But sir, we have new information. I've just received a report that the stolen ship was seen landing at Neon just after the theft.
A breakthrough at last. Well, Deputy, it sounds like you'll be heading to Neon, which means I can get back to work. Remember what we discussed. My people are depending on you.
Hey, can I get a word? That wasn't as helpful as it could have been. Still, at least you know where to pick up the trail.
Cosette, we had to break up a scuffle amongst
Yeah, me too.
Timetable's got everything.
So, guess you're headed for Neon. There's a ranger stationed there. Name's Jalen Price.
No.
He's a little different than the rest of us. But Neon's a different kind of place.
I don't. You think we neglect our duty?
He's what I'd call a pragmatist. He sees things for what they are. He's also well connected, which means a lot on Neon. You should listen to what he tells you. It'll keep you out of trouble. He should be able to help you out. Well, we've both got work to do.
Thank you, Cosette.
It was good to meet you, Deputy. Thanks again for helping me out up there. I'll be taking it easy for a couple of days. Need time to heal up. Then, I need to get back up there and keep an eye out for more pirates. I'm hoping to track one of their ships so I can find their hideout. Guess we could both use a little luck, huh? No problem. Good luck on Neon, Deputy.
I must confess, the hum of a grab drive makes me feel alive. Look out for gangs. Actually, the gang should look out for us. The Coochie's a lot of fun. I even bring Cora here every now and then.
Hey, I don't care who you work for. You can't just... Oh, you're the rookie, aren't you? The one and only. Well, the Marshal's message said you were following a lead about a stolen ship. Truth is, a lot of stolen goods flow through here, but this city is real good at keeping its secrets, even from us. No, I think you should be careful. You can count on my help if you play by the rules. This isn't Aquila City. The badge doesn't carry the same weight here. The people who run this place aren't overly concerned about the law. Our job is to keep the peace, make sure the violence doesn't get out of hand. The last thing anyone around here wants is some hotshot deputy looking in every dark corner.
Neon's a tough assignment. The ecosystem is rigged against any real law enforcement.
That would be Benjamin Bayou. He's out to squeeze every credit he can from the people of this city. He doesn't much care who gets hurt in the process.
He's also got a seat on the Council of Governors, which proves that if you've got enough credits, you can buy anything you want. I pick my battles, and I pick them carefully. Our first duty is to protect the people of the Freestar Collective. But sometimes you have to choose which people to protect, because not everyone is innocent. Good.
That's a smart play, as much as it rankles.
Your stolen ship would have had to land at the spaceport. If it was right off the factory floor, it would have stood out. There's a guy I know, Billy Clayton, does maintenance work around the city and keeps an eye on ship traffic for me. I'll introduce you, but don't expect a favor. Even if it doesn't cost credits, nothing in Neon is free. Believe it or not, yeah, it was. My mother's an executive with Ryujin, so I grew up here. I volunteered for this post as much to keep the other Rangers out of trouble as any other reason. If some hotshot rookie took this job and started flashing the badge everywhere, it wouldn't end well. Nah, I've got friends in high places, so to speak. I'm the son of a Ryujin Industries executive. Maybe you've heard of her? Name's Alexis Price. There's a sort of fragile peace here in Neon. It's better for everyone if the syndicates and the corporations coexist with minimum friction. Stay out of people's business until you can't. Be willing to let the small stuff slide. Don't break up a fight unless it's getting out of hand. Most of all, don't assume that badge will protect you. Of course, Neon's full of desperate people who have nowhere else to turn. For some, it's the drugs. For others, it's gambling. There are a lot of ways to lose everything in this city. My rule is simple. If someone brought it on themselves, I don't get involved. Rangers are supposed to exercise good judgment. I'm one person here. I can't help everybody. The best I can do is try to protect the ones who are innocent. And believe me, it's a full-time job. This is Neon. There are no guarantees, and who I find trustworthy changes on a daily basis. Talk to them or don't, it's your call. Come on. That was pretty impressive how you volunteered to help out with the bank heist in Aquila City. Yeah, I read all the reports. You learned quickly that in Neon, staying informed and staying alive are closely linked. What stood out to me was that you didn't lose a single hostage. No wonder the Marshal tried to recruit you right away. If he hadn't, it would have made him look like a fool, having some random stranger step in and do the job he couldn't. Now, someone tried.
Inside's a bad place for tourists these days.
But you understand that, don't you? That's why you just told me that you won't cause trouble. Keep that in mind, and you'll fit right in.
People joke, say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake. It's some kind of celestial being. They call it the Great Serpent.
Hey, Gilly. Got a second?
What? Oh, it's you. Gave me a good scare. I thought you were one of Goodman's people.
Sure. Far from it. Our new deputy here is working a case, and I thought he might be able to help. Take it away, rookie.
What do you need? A stolen Hope-Tech ship, huh? Well, here's the thing. Neon's got no end of shipjackers. I see them come and go every day. It's tough for a guy to remember one from the other. You know what I mean?
I can see where this is going.
Yeah, well, I'm one of them. I can help you. But right now, my life is in danger, and I haven't even done anything wrong. Freestar Rangers are supposed to protect the innocent, right? Then you need to hear this. It's about my brother. He died while still in debt to a syndicate loan shark by the name of Emmett Goodman. Now, Goodman's coming after me to collect. He says if I don't pay up, I'm a dead man.
This Emmett Goodman sounds like a real class act.
Yeah. He's bad even by Neon standards. That's saying something. From where I'm standing, seems like our problems are intertwined like a couple of fuel lines in a thruster assembly. I do understand. I'm trying to figure out a way to help you, okay? You're just annoying enough that this might work. I hear you. Okay. Let you try, right? The woman you're looking for is named Grace Early. Stealing ships is her line of work. She usually comes here to sell the goods. Rumor has it she just finished a job for some mercenary outfit. And she's been throwing money around, so must have paid well.
I know her. When she isn't out on a job, she's a regular at Madame Sauvage's. That's on the upper platform. I'll back you up.
Well, what about me? You just gonna leave me twisting in the wind here?
If I were you, I'd get the hell out of Neon and start over somewhere else.
This is like my second home.
I'm still interested in your asking. Yes? What?
Hello. Oh, great. Just who I don't want to see. A Freestar Ranger and his... What are you? A sidekick or something? Aw, come on now. Don't tease a girl. So how come I'm talking to the sidekick instead of the ranger?
This is the deputy's case.
Is that so? And you had to bring backup just for little old me? I'm flattered. Anyway, this ain't my first interrogation, so let's just get on with it. A time or two, maybe more. And yet here I am, walking free. Aw, ain't you polite? I'm guessing this is the part where you tell me that you've got questions and that you expect me to answer them. That sound about right? Fine, yes. I jacked the ship. But look, I was just a contractor. I didn't even keep the ship. I gave it to some men. It was just a quick, clean job. I made sure nobody got hurt. All I did was provide them with transportation. They didn't say anything about where they were going or why. Look, I wouldn't have gotten involved if I thought anyone would be hurt. I've got no love for violence.
Not asking questions is just as bad as giving consent. If that woman had been killed, you'd be an accessory to murder. Did you think about that?
No, I guess I didn't. It's not that simple. I do understand. I'm trying to figure out a way to help you, okay? Is this really what we're doing? I guess if I can't trust a Freestar Ranger, then I can't trust anyone, right? I was approached by a woman named Maya Cruz. Said she was a senior member of the First and that she had a job for me. She was working with someone inside Hope Tech and pitched me on the idea of jacking a ship right out of the factory. We were deep into planning the job when she had some kind of medical emergency. She said she needed surgery and would be in recovery for a long time. That was a few weeks ago. Haven't heard from her since. You serious? Take your pick. Money, reputation, the thrill of it. All good reasons. Only some kind of offhanded comment about their client wanting to expand the operation ahead of schedule. In my line of work, you learn not to ask a lot of questions. Tends to make people uncomfortable. No, but it sounded serious. She was upset. Seemed kind of shaken, you know? Didn't seem right I should pry, so I didn't. Not long after that, I got a message from a guy named Marco. He said he was the money man for the First, and he offered half up front. Never met him directly, though. It was always through intermediaries and using encrypted slates. Got the feeling he was paranoid as hell.
Do you have one of those encrypted slates on you right now?
Yeah. Here. Take it. I'm done with all this. Anything else you want to know? Nothing, really. I was told when and where to meet them. They paid me what I was owed, and that was it. Not so much as a hint. I'll tell you. He's as cagey a fixer as I've ever met.
Bankrolling the First must take a lot of money. I'm sure he's got all kinds of side hustles going on.
No. Nothing at all. Left me feeling a little disappointed, given how well they paid me. Yeah, sure.
Next time you're at the Rock, you should give that encrypted slate to Ranger Alex Shadid. He's got a gift for cryptography. If anyone could crack that slate, it'll be him. I'm gonna head back. Good luck, Deputy.
Then I'm free to go. Hey, you don't need to tell me twice.
Spent most of my life trying to escape this place.
Used to be an actuary.
Late one night, Annie Wilcox tried to arrest me for public indecence.
Hey there, deputy.
Good to see you. Hey, I wondered when you might come by. I'm Alex. Nia's report said you were heading for Neon? I've always wanted to go there. What did you think? What? You serious? Well, that's a first. I guess not everyone likes to have a good time. Speaking of which, on to business. So how'd it go? Turn up anything useful? Oh, come to daddy, my sweet little mystery slate. I see lots of coffee and late nights ahead. Now, if you get any more of these, bring them to me. It helps if I can compare different instances of the encryption they're using. Just look for me up here. I have no life, so I'm not usually hard to find. It'll take as long as it takes. You can't rush a job like this. But one thing I can promise you, though, is that it'll go a lot faster if I don't have to answer silly questions. Oh, I will. I guarantee it.
Let's talk for a minute. Welcome back. Any luck finding out who stole that ship from Hope Tech? Glad you got a chance to meet him. Sounds like you're making real progress. You're off to a good start, but that's all it is, a start. What did you learn from this starship thief? Well done, Deputy. Sounds like you've got a couple of new leads to follow up on. I have a guess who Marco might be. I served with Maya Cruz. She's a technical genius and an expert hacker. I can give you some background if you want it, or we can go straight to planning your next move. There was a mech driver in the 1st Cavalry named Marco Graziani. He came from money, and when the 1st Cav got a reputation as the top unit, he transferred in. Rumor was that bribes made it happen. Marco had a knack for getting hold of anything we needed. There was talk the family fortune came from smuggling, and I believe it. He had this dream to become a wealthy businessman when he got out. But I guess that got put on hold when they locked him up. They said she was a child prodigy, which probably explains her arrogance. Even so, she was fiercely loyal to Major Hull. I don't think she'd ever give him up. If you find her, don't expect her to cooperate. Like what? Most likely place would be the clinic. It's in Freestar Collective space and provides the best medical services credits can buy. They also guarantee privacy, so it's an ideal place for someone trying to keep a low profile. Ranger Ben Armistead is posted there. I'll send him an update on the situation. Around the time he got out of jail, we started hearing Marco's name in circulation. Word is he's heading up a smuggling racket. Based on what you've learned, I'd presume he's funneling his ill-gotten gains to the 1st. Ranger Autumn McMillan is out at Red Mile right now, looking into the smuggling operation. I suggest you pool your resources. Just remember, that's outside Freestar Collective space, so we've got no jurisdiction there. Your priority is to gather more intel about the 1st. What are they planning? Who are they working for? Where are they headquartered? Just remember that your targets were locked up because they were loyal to their unit. They think the Freestar Collective betrayed them. In other words, you ain't gonna get a warm welcome, so be careful. Good hunting, Deputy.